There's been a lot of talks about how nobody really cares and you need to bring yourself out of whatever the fuck you're going through. But honestly, while that has been established, can we also talk about how people are also the cause of others' predicaments? For example, all over the world, especially in Nigeria, we're experiencing bad governments now, and even when you try to get a job, you can't get a good job that even pays your bill. We're all literally working to pay rent, to buy food, and just to pay bills. Nobody's really having fun right now, except the corrupt ones, of course, the thieves that steal from the whole world, that thieves that steal from people, that steal from innocent citizens. And even when you say, okay, you don't even want to work, you want to have your business, they're literally still going to tax you, and your business might even run at loss. Your business might end up running at loss. So in situations like this where a lot of people are depressed and everybody feels like, okay, after all, I'm also a victim of my circumstances and I want to pass it down to the next person. There's the landlord scenario where they increase rents. Like currently, this is something I'm actually battling in my house right now. They increase the rent every year because they need more money. As a 1 year tenant, you're supposed to renew the original rent without the extra charges, but they always increase the rent because they want that the same very amount or like close to that or even more than what they received from you when you were moving in. And that's just how it is everywhere. It's not like, okay, if I move to this city, it's gonna be better. It's just like that everywhere. And when you ask them, they will probably also complain about how things are in the country. They will probably also complain about the country, the government. That's how it is, and there's really nowhere to go. Currently, Nigeria is one of the, you know, craziest countries in the world, like the worst country in the world. I feel like it is the worst country. If you don't live in Nigeria, you won't understand what I'm trying to say. We have the highest number of internet fraudsters, scammers, and online impersonators, people that literally steal. I'm not saying it is an excuse. Whatever it is, other people thrive. There are people inside the markets that do dirty works, that do crazy things. They've come to terms with their destiny. They've come to terms with the fact that this is how things are going to be, and we are really good at adapting to situations. There are people like that, but other people don't really care about adapting to situations. Hurt people. They literally just take advantage of the situation and start hurting other people. They get online, they scam people and do all things like this. But even if we are being honest, these are the reasons, these are the factors that actually, to be considered when talking about how bad things have gotten. So people in power know well, like they know better than what they're currently doing. But because there's nobody to answer to, like who is going to check them? Every single person that wants to be a governor or a president right now is just because they also just want to have a slice of the national cake. Nobody wants to be in power just to improve the country, to improve the way things are. Nobody wants to be in power because they feel sorry for anybody. Nobody cares about anybody. And as I said in the comment section of one of the posts I saw talking about how nobody cares and you have to bring yourself up, someone was like, that's just human nature. Humans are wired to only care for themselves, and you can't carry everybody's problems on your head. Now that is still the truth, as we keep saying, okay, you don't have to care about other people, you don't have to carry other people's problems on your head. So what is the cause, what is the reason why you just want to add to other people's problems? You're rich, we already know that you're rich, and then you want to employ labor. Nigerians are really, really good at this thing that I'm about to say now. Like personally, I ran a cleaning business about a few years ago, and I got the experience firsthand. The richest people are the ones that hoard finances the most. They don't want to pay you for the job done. They don't want to pay you well. They don't even want to pay you at all. I don't know if that's what makes them richer and maybe hoarding cash. I don't know how that really works, but they don't want to pay you as a like cleaner. If you're like a cleaner, they want you to labor from morning till night while they give you peanuts. So in these situations, human beings are still the problem. As much as you want to deny people empathy, you want to deny them care, you want to deny them help, talking about nobody owes you anything, sometimes you still hold people. You still go out of your way to cheat people. You still go out of your way to make people's life miserable. And as far as you're not being affected, it doesn't concern you, you know. They're literally not going to pay you well, no matter what. And that is why a lot of us, I personally have given up a long time ago working on that people, because you're just going to get used. You're going to get frustrated to the point that, okay, I don't even blame thieves. I don't blame people that steal from like rich people, and nobody is encouraging anybody to steal. But as I said, human beings are still usually the problem, are still the cause of these things. Let's imagine a society where everything works. Let's just imagine. I'm very, very sure there will be lesser numbers of these thieves, and there will even be more stricter rules to be put in place to punish people that, you know, they are just naturally lazy, or they just want to be a menace to the society, because there are people like that. But honestly, Nigerians are hard workers. Nigerians are seriously hardworking. Nigerians are seriously hardworking. If you go inside the markets now, you see a lot of people toiling, working very hard every single day. People wake up as early as 4 a.m. to prepare to go to work. There's always traffic on the road. There's always stress from work and just a lot of things. And if we are being honest with each other, things won't be the way they are if human beings are not just the problems, if human beings are just not the way they are. And honestly, I don't know what it would take to put things in place. Also, take the scenario of being a rape victim and you're enforcing rules that, you know, you need to have the baby. These men in power want you to have babies so they can sleep with them, so they can sleep with babies, and you know, because I don't know why you'll be forcing a rape victim to carry and have the baby. You know, they banned abortion in some countries. These are some of the things we're talking about. You can't blame people. You can't blame people for taking their own lives, because when it comes to this is what people actually do. Like, you become suicidal. You can't fight the system. You can't beat them. You can't join them. There's nothing you can do. And now there's a higher rate of suicide. Humans have ruined it all. Like, there are fewer angels among us than, you know, more demons and fewer angels. Someone made a post talking about how God and devil exists within us, and this is just like, you can't even look into one human's eye and feel like, okay, I'm looking at an angel, because everyone is selfish, everyone is for their own selves, and you know, everyone is crazy, everyone is bitter, everyone is evil, literally, like everyone is just trying to survive. The Epstein files were released several months ago, and everything has died down now. You know, nothing has been done, nothing is being done, and this is something that would continue for eternity. Why? Because the people in power also support things like this. You know, people in power do horrible things in secret. Everybody wants to acquire power so they can control the next person. Nobody wants to acquire power to make things better ever, as long as it is not affecting them. As far as it is not affecting them, it is all right. You know, sometimes you can look at people and judge them. We are all sinners who judge other sinners for sinning differently. You can look at people, you can look at someone and judge them that, why are you even a thief? Why are you even doing what you're doing? And you know, it's not until someone sits down and tells you their story. I've done everything in my life, nothing has ever worked for me. And again, disclaimer, nobody is encouraging any illegal thing on this channel. Nobody is trying to encourage any illegal thing in this video. We're just talking about the roots of all our problems. You know, we still don't know how these things can get solved, but we are just addressing the roots of the problems and everything. You know, it's not until someone sits you down and tell you everything they've been through before you can be considerate to a point. I always say, if someone steals my food, like, I'm not going to beat you for stealing food from me or anything, or maybe you stole my money and you bought food. I'm literally going to buy you more food. As far as you're not, even people doing drugs, sleeping on the streets, some of them do it to cope with the situation. They do it to cope with the cold out there. You can't just go around judging people with no reason. A lot of people judge others from a place of privilege. You're a good person because your life makes you a good person. If I was privileged to, I'll probably sit on my high horse and judge people. Oh, why didn't you do this with your life? Or why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? Because I have it easy. There was a situation on the Lagos Bridge one time, and someone was trying to jump into the river, was trying to drown to death, and they rescued him just to beat him up for trying to take his own life. Tell me something, if you try to murder someone, you're going to get jailed, you're going to get consequences. And still also, if you try to murder yourself, if you try to take your own life, you're still going to get consequences. So nobody took this man to an homeless shelter. Nobody sat him down, gave him food, asked him what is your problem, what is really going on in your life, how can we help. Nobody came together as a society to get him a job, get him whatever it is he's lacking that would make him want to take his life. This is how hard it can get. And I see why a lot of people use religion as their consolation, because it is that bad. It is that bad. I don't think anybody in this life is making efforts enough to, even if you're making effort to make the society better, you won't get the recognition you deserve, because only the bad gets rewarded, only the bad gets the chances and opportunities, because these people who perpetuate these evil deeds, you wonder how they get so much power. That's because this is almost like the most basic, I don't even know how to put these words together, but it is just being legalized. In fact, if you are being a good person, there's a higher chance that you're going to be used. Instead of people to look at you and say, oh, this is a kind person, let me also be kind to them, let me pay them back in their coins. That's not what's going to happen. You're going to get used. People are going to treat you like you're dumb. People are going to treat you like you're sick, you're not okay. Like, look around you, how many people are being this kind? Everybody is being transactional. It's hard for you to receive a genuine act of kindness. Even in a prison, they tell you as a newbie that you should be careful. If someone do you a favor, they're going to tell you, people that have been there for a while will tell you that you better be careful, or just be ready to pay back, because nothing goes for nothing is for free. And in the case whereby everybody wants you to speak up, people tell you to speak up, talk about your problem, nobody is still going to help you. Your problem is still your problem. In the end, people would use your problems to take advantage of you. They will use whatever it is you've told them about yourself, they will use it against you. You will be very, very surprised. Your friend today can become your enemy. That person you're closer to, telling about your life, telling about what you're going through. In the end, people change, or they just use it as an agenda. Once you have a little quarrel with them, they talk about you, they talk about the things that you're going through. Oh, that's why your mom died, that's why you're sick, that's why you're depressed, that's why you don't have a job. Job shaming, house shaming, nothing in this life should be that way. You can't be in a world where you'd never even asked to be in, and you have to pay to live somewhere. You have to pay for water, you have to pay for every single thing. And everybody has just made it their life mission. It's even hard, even relationships these days. You have to be on guard, you have to be on your 10 toes. Every time you have to look out to see if this person is not trying to outsmart you. Even if you want to genuinely be in love, it is very, very hard to have any genuine positive feelings in this generation, in this evil, disgusting world. It is so hard, and this goes back to the suicide thing. Nobody really wants to do that. Nobody actually really wants to do that. But it gets to that point where people feel like they can no longer go on, and nothing is ever going to change. Of course, every single rule, every single policy, every single thing that has been put in place must have benefited whoever put those things in place at the time. We have cases where people are being raped and murdered, women most especially. There was a serial killer that was released back into the society, and as soon as he was released, he went and committed murder again. So I don't know why people like this are being released. There are musicians. There's a musician that, okay, let me just say his name, Chris Brown. He abused his ex-girlfriend, he almost actually killed her. And there's Kanye West too. There's the likes of those two people. But because they are men, people still listen to their music. I for one, sometimes I listen to Chris Brown's music, no judgment or whatever. But it's just very, very hard because people want to, but I can actually make a decision not to listen to his music anymore. And I actually stopped, And what am I trying to say is that people praise them. people praise people. Like when you're a villain, when you're a horrible person, you get more praises compared to someone that is a good person, that is a nice person. People get killed for just being nice. There was a woman that used to do charity and take care of the poor, take care of the needy, and she literally got killed because of that. So like, what kind of deep shit are we in as humans? What kind of disgusting world are we in as humans? And this is the same world we're encouraging women to bring babies into. Like, it's hard for a woman to thrive. I don't even want to go into the patriarchy talk right now. I just want to pretend to be neutral right now, not to be biased. Okay, you want to talk about women all the time, but violence against women, which is obvious, which is very, very glaring, as obvious as the nose on my face. Most good people don't survive. Sometimes good people die, and you wonder just why. Oh, this person is already healing the world, and then they die, they kick the bucket. But you see the evil ones, they refuse to die. Those ones are the ones that will live for 1,000 years. In fact, they acquire so much power to the point that they start buying lives. They start using people, human sacrifice, to even like increase their lifespan. And the world is evil, the world is disgusting, the world is polluted. And this is not a sign, this is not me encouraging the suicide rate or whatever, but at this point I just have to keep saying it, which is what I'm also trying to do. Aside the fact that you have to create your own happiness, most times do what works for you, even if it is unaliving yourself. I'm very sorry to say that, because the world is disgusting, the world is polluted, and even as women, nobody is really coming together to stop the patriarchy. As humans in general, nobody is really coming together to make things work. In Nigeria right now, everybody is afraid to protest. Even the last time we protested, a lot of people died. People will be so afraid to come out to protest, because these people have so much power that they can kill you and get away with it. They can do a lot of evil things to you and get away with it. So we live in a dangerous world, we live in a crazy world, and as I said, I don't know what we can do to change the world, but